This is Doxy Mom, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done so already, I'd greatly appreciate if you hit that little red subscribe button. You can ring the bell for notifications, and if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Well, I've got a sleepy Miss Peanut and Miss Indy back here, and we're going to bring you the news in 15 minutes or less, so let's get started. Now, 17 just posted this morning about an Australian scientific study that concludes that coronavirus contains unique properties, suggesting it was not a natural occurrence. But it was manipulated in a laboratory. 5 scientists conducted the study and said there is no sign that this virus is found in animals, including bats or exotic wildlife sold for fresh meat in Wuhan, China, where the virus was first identified. Now, the head researcher said his team suspects human manipulation because of the unmatched ability of the virus's protruding spike to infect human cells, and no corresponding virus has been found to exist in nature. So we all knew that this was man-made biochemical warfare, and here's the proof, and I'll leave a link. Now, News Punch, they're reporting that Obama Homeland Security IG and his subordinate have been arrested and indicted on 16 counts of theft and fraud, according to the DOJ. Now, 59-year-old Charles Edwards and his 54-year-old staffer, Murali Venkata, probably said that wrong, guys. Anyway, they've been charged with theft of government property, wire fraud, aggravated identity theft, and conspiracy to defraud the United States. And Venkata has also been charged with destruction of records. Now, Obama presided over the most lawless administration in U.S. history. One by one, these criminals are being investigated and brought to justice, and I'll leave a link. And you know, in Proverbs 21:15, it says, when justice is done, it is a joy to the righteous, but terror to the evildoers. Now, the Gateway Pundit, they're reporting that Robert O'Brien, President Trump's national security advisor, has slashed the National Security Council staff to half of Obama-era levels. He will have reduced the head count from 240 staffers to 105 by the end of summer. Now remember, President Trump, he cut 70 Obama holdovers in February, including the evil Vindman twins, and the NSC became a bloated bureaucracy under Obama with holdovers such as Eric Ciaramella, Alex Vindman, and Sean Misko, who worked together to take out our wonderful president. But thanks to some great patriots and God's protection, that didn't happen. And I'll leave a link. Now, Saul Weisenberg, he's a former deputy and independent counsel in the Whitewater investigation. He went on Fox to talk about how Rick Grenell's last act as DNI was to declassify the General Flynn, Ambassador Kislyak phone calls. Now, John Ratcliffe, he took over as DNI on Tuesday, so it's his call as to when and if he'll make these public. But Saul thinks that Ratcliffe will release them to the public, and people will see that there was nothing improper or illegal in these calls to go after General Flynn the way they did. But, you know, of course, the left, they're going to try to spin it their way. Anyway, Saul has heard there are some other documents that will shed light on how the intelligence information was manipulated to begin the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. Now, they went ahead and talked about Judge Sullivan and how he's in trouble. He was going to try to drag out General Flynn's legal problems, and the appeals court said, you need to explain yourself because the prosecution dropped the case. So what are you doing? Well, we all know that Sullivan is deep state. He wants people to think that General Flynn is a bad guy when he's just the opposite. And personally, I hope this totally backfires on Sullivan and that he is removed from the bench. And I'm sure that you've heard that Sullivan has lawyered up, and Sidney Powell says he's going to need a lawyer. And I'll leave a link Now, the Star Tribune, they're reporting that our wonderful president is threatening to move the RNC out of my state of North Carolina if Demon Rat, oh, did I say that? I'm so sorry. I meant Democrat Governor Roy Cooper doesn't immediately sign off on allowing full capacity gatherings in August. Now, Cooper's office said that state officials are working with the GOP on convention decisions. Now, we supposedly have lost 750 people to COVID in North Carolina. And guys, my heart goes out to all of those who have lost loved ones. It's tragic, it's so sad, and they are in my prayers. However, we all know that the numbers are being padded. And I'm going to show you this tweet by Candace Owens. If you want to pause the video, you can go along with me here. But Candace says, wow, look at these numbers. Can't wait to hear Dr. Fauci and the CDC explain why it is that coronavirus preferred to strike Democrat states over Republican ones. Scandemic. Now, guys, it's got the 4 Democrat states that are all closed with a total population of 51.11 million people. That would be New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. And the total that have died from coronavirus in these 4 states, the CDC is saying is 43,679. Versus the 4 Republican states that have 72.79 million people, over 20 million more people in these 4 Republican states that are all open: Florida, Texas, Georgia, and Ohio. And the total deceased is 6,987. And then at the bottom it says more people have died of coronavirus in New York and New Jersey nursing homes than all the people combined in Florida, Texas, Georgia, and Ohio. And we all know why that happened. Thank you, Andrew Cuomo, for putting coronavirus patients into nursing homes. And when you sent them from the hospital, he sent body bags along with them. Anyway, guys, there are 10.49 million people in North Carolina, and we lose this many people every year due to flu and pneumonia. And I recently spoke to a woman. She's in healthcare. She actually gives coronavirus tests, and she has said that she, and along with doctors in their hospital, well, they've had their salaries slashed in half because nobody's coming to the hospital because everybody's afraid. Now, they are having to cut their salaries in half because nobody's going there, guys. And she spoke to a man who quit taking his hydroxychloroquine for an ailment, not for COVID. He just had a different type of ailment. And he told her he quit taking the HCQ because he'd heard on the news that it would kill you. And guys, I just talked about this in my last video. This is madness. And you know, I almost hope they don't have the RNC here in Charlotte. Charlotte will lose hundreds of thousands of dollars thanks to our lovely Governor Roy Cooper, and hopefully he'll be voted out and we can get a patriot in here to lead the great state of North Carolina. And I'll leave a link. Now, the Gateway Pundit, they are reporting that Gavin Newsom, the power-hungry governor of California, issued new authoritarian guidelines for reopening churches because President Trump declared all houses of worship essential on Friday. And thank you, President Trump. Of course, we already knew that Jesus is essential. Anyway, Gavin decided to push back against President Trump. Then he buckled after enormous pressure, but he decided that for them to reopen their churches, they were going to have some new guidelines that included a limit of 25% capacity. So that means in my little church only about 7 people could show up on Sunday. And then Christians can't sing in church. Now, guys, this is a violation of Californians' First Amendment rights. And we all need to pray that Gavin will find Jesus and repent, because if he doesn't, he is going to pay dearly for this, guys. Now, the Gateway Pundit, they're reporting that Judge Sullivan, are you ready for this? He helped Jim Comey get a speaking gig at Howard University for $100,000, and this was back in September 2017. Now, this is a judge who inserted himself into General Flynn's case, who wanted to be both judge and prosecutor, and he insinuated that this three-star general, this three-star general who has served our country with honor for 30 years is a traitor. Can you see the projection? Everything the deep state has done, they then try to project it onto the patriots. Now, Judge Sullivan, he is a part of the deep state. He's not only shown his true colors through his unethical behavior in General Flynn's trial, but he ordered that deported asylum seekers must be returned to the United States. Now, Judge Sullivan is a graduate of Howard University, where several scams have taken place, and I'll leave a link and you can go over and read about those if you want to. But the article goes on to say that Sullivan got Comey this speaking gig where protesters, they kept interrupting James Comey, and then Comey said, well, I'm only going to speak for 12 minutes. $100,000 for 12 minutes. Not too shabby. And in Proverbs 11, verse 21, it says, be sure of this, the wicked will not go unpunished, but those who are righteous will go free. Well, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, this is Doxy Mom, and God bless you all.